Hi friends, here we are going to discuss different types of measurements and other related properties like accuracy, precision, error, etc. Okay. See, measurements can be broadly classified into two types. What are they? See, the measuring thing can be either a continuous variable or a discrete variable. What is a discrete variable? A discrete variable is a countable. What do we mean? Suppose the number of balls in a box or number of students in a classroom, number of apples in a basket. All these are countables because they exist as discrete objects. One apple, the next apple. Like that, they are not existing as a continuum. So they are countable too. So one type is discrete variables or countables. All other measurements other than by counting are continuous variables and non-countable. For example, length, area, volume, mass, time, temperature, refractive index, surface tension, all these properties are continuous variables and non-countables. They are not expressed as 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, this is the meaning of saying some measurement is a discrete variable or a continuous variable. And these are the important points of references between a discrete variable and a continuous variable. See, in the case of a discrete variable, exact measurement is possible. For example, if a basket has 20 apples, we can count that exactly and make sure we are 100% correct. Coming to the case of a continuous variable, that exactness is not possible. Why we say so? Suppose we are measuring length of some cloth using a meter scale. Suppose that meter scale has no subdivisions, no graduations. Then we can express how many meters that long cloth is, but we cannot say how many decimeter is it. Suppose some part at the end remains after a complete meter measurement. Then some part is remaining. We cannot measure that using meter scale because meter scale has no subdivision. If you keep them together, meter scale stays outside, extended to outside. So we cannot say how many decimeter is that cloth or how many centimeter is that cloth, millimeter, etc. Okay, if we are next using a meter scale with a decimeter division, then what comes? We can say how many decimeter it is now. But we cannot yet say how many centimeter is there, how many millimeter is there. If you are having a scale with a centimeter division, you can say up to centimeter, but you cannot express millimeter. This will continue infinitely and you cannot come to the final edge of measurement. It is an endless process. You will be coming more and more close to the real value, but you will never attain that final state of measurement. That's why we say that here exact measurement is possible, here exact measurement is not possible in the case of non-countables. Second, see, for counting, we may or may not use a device to count. We can do the counting manually, or we can use a counting machine as we used in a bank to count the notes, etc. So we may or may not use a measuring device or counting device. But coming to all other type of measurement, you always need a measuring device to measure the length, to measure the area, volume, time, temperature, surface tension, viscosity, refractive index. We know that we can make a measurement by using a measuring device of its own specifications. Okay, so that is the second main difference between these two. Thirdly, in the case of counting, the estimated number value is a whole number always, like 1, 2, 3, natural number, a natural number. But coming to the case of a measurement of a continuous variable, it can be any real value. It can be 1.2, 0.2, 1.25, okay, like that. So that difference is there. One is always a counted number, not the other. Okay. Then, in the case of counting, we know between two adjacent numbers 1 and 2, there is no other value. 1 apple, then 2 apple, 1 board, then 2 apple, 5 board, then 6 board. There is no in-between value. But coming to the case of a continuous variable, in between 6 meter and 7 meter, there is 6.1 meter, 6.2 meter, 6.3 meter. Between 6.1 meter and 6.2 meter, there is 6.11 meter, 6.12 meter, 6.13 meter, etc. Between 6.11 and 6.12, there is 6.111, 6.112, 6.113, and so on. This continues up to infinite decimal figures. So what you can say, between any two adjacent numbers, there are infinite measurable values. Practically that is measurable or not, it is something else. But there is the scope of measuring infinite numbers. That is another major difference between a continuous variable and a discrete variable, or between a non-countable and countable. Hope you understood that. Okay. Okay. Now we will see what is accuracy of a measurement. See, accuracy of a measurement is nothing but the nearness of the measured value to the true value of that measurement. I repeat, accuracy suggests the nearness of a measured value to the true value or to the standard value we have chosen. Why say standard value? Because in some cases true values are never known. In that case we have a standard value and we compare the measured value with the true value to know how far it is accurate. Greater the nearness of the measured value to the true value, we can say more accurate the value as a qualitative idea. Then how can we express accuracy in a quantitative manner? How can we state it as a mathematical expression? That we can do as relative error. We can express accuracy in terms of error. We will see an example. See, actual length is equal to actual length of any body. Let it be 2.5 meter. And somebody measured it to be, say, 2.4 meter. Observed length is equal to 2.4 meter. Therefore, relative error. See, first we can say error. Error is the difference between the actual value and observed value. Its sign is immaterial, so we may put it as modulus. Actual value minus observed value. Here it is 2.5 minus 2.4 is equal to 0.1. Okay, therefore relative error. relative error. See, this much error, actual value minus observed value being modulus divided by actual value. With respect to the actual value, this much is the error. So, 0.1 divided by 2.5. Okay. Therefore, percentage error. We can also express the error as percentage error, which is the most commonly practiced way of expression. Percentage error. I am again using the full equation. Actual value minus observed value by actual value into 100 means relative value into 100 is equal to, I am writing here, 0.1 into 100 by 2.5 is equal to 100 by 25, isn't it? Is equal to 4%. So this is the way in which we can express accuracy as an error. If the actual value, I mean true value, and the experimental value are exactly the same, accuracy is 100%. Accuracy is 100%. Hope you understood that. Okay. Now, what is precision? See, if you refer to books, we will see two different types of precision mentioned in books, and we will discuss both. One meaning of precision, whenever there is only one experiment, one experimental value, how we can define precision. See, suppose a particular length is measured using first a simple plain meter scale, then using a meter scale having decimeter division, then that with a centimeter division also, then with a millimeter division also, and so on. See, if I am making the measurement using a scale having only meter division, and suppose I can measure suppose it is a cloth, I measure up to 1 meter and a bit more is there, but I cannot measure that. So I say approximately it is 1 meter. I am using a scale with a no subdivision. Okay. Suppose that meter scale has 10 subdivision, and suppose the second 10 subdivision means decimeter division, and suppose the length, the edge of the cloth is between second subdivision and third subdivision. It is between 2 and 3. So I will be approximating 1.2 meter when the scale is having decimeter division. Suppose that decimeter is further divided into 10, and suppose the cloth end is between 5 and 6 of that further centimeter division, then I will be reporting 1.25 meter. Okay. Suppose one more division, millimeter division is there in that scale, I can express the next decimal figure also. I may be reporting 1.258 meter. Okay. So what has happened? Here what is increased is the precision of the measurement. So greater the resolution of a value, or the greater the subdivision in the instrument, or greater the resolution of the measuring device, I get a value with more decimal figures or more resolution. So increasing resolution means increasing precision. Okay, hope you understood. So we are getting more and more decimal numbers. If I get only 1.2, if I get only 1, it doesn't mean the beyond decimal there are no values. It is just because I cannot measure them. I am helpless. It is a helplessness. When I express 1.2, it doesn't mean it is exactly 0.2 and beyond that there is no number. No, not either. I cannot measure. And it continues like this. There can be up to infinite figures there, but I cannot measure all of them. So, absolute precision is an impossible thing, and here we can say precision increases with the increase in the level of graduation in the measuring device. Usually we call that resolution of the measuring device. Hope you understood that. Okay. Now let's make some comparison between accuracy and precision with regard to some pair of experimental values. Okay. Let the actual length or true length of some body is 1.25 meter. Now we have pairs of experimental values. Okay, to compare. First pair. One length measured is 1.1. The other length measured is 1.2. See here which the precision in both cases are the same because both are having same resolution or one decimal position is. But 1.2 is more closer to the original value. So we say 2 is more accurate, precision is same. Okay. Now the next pair. 1.1, 1.23. Here 1.25 is more close to 1.23. And precision is also more here because two decimal figures. So here we say 2 is more accurate and more precise. Precision is more, accuracy is more. Now think about this 1.11, 1.2. Here precision is more for here, but nearness to the real value is for this. So what we say, 2 has more accuracy, but 1 has more precision. Okay. Next step. 1.15, 1.35. See, middle value is 1.25. Real value is the middle of these two. So when we calculate percentage error, both these values give same percentage error because the error is modulus. So same quantity, 1.25 minus 1.15 and 1.35 minus 1.25 will be the same value divided by 1.25 into 100. Both will give same. So we can say both have same accuracy and both have same precision. Okay. Hope you understood these comparisons. Okay. Okay. Now we talk about the second type of precision. The first type of precision, when there is one experimental value, it depends upon the number of decimal figures in the value, or it is related to the resolution of the measuring device and the value. Here, when we have a set of experimental values, we have another aspect of resolution. What is that? See, if you perform a set of experiments and all the time you are getting the same experimental value, then your precision is 100%. If on the other hand, you fluctuate among your own experimental values, your precision is less. And greater your fluctuation to large distances among values, your precision is very poor. So this is the aspect regarding precision. Okay. Now, for accuracy, the mathematical expression was error, relative error and percentage error. Then what about the mathematical expression for precision when there are a set of experimental values? That is deviation and mean deviation. What is meant by deviation and mean deviation? See, suppose you have performed a set of experimental values, say of a measurement. You got the values 1.250, 1.260, 1.270, 1.240, 1.230, 1.230. 6 experimental values. Then you take the mean of these 6 values, mean value. You add them and divide them by the number 6. You got 1.247 as the mean value. Now you see deviation of each experimental value from mean value. Deviation of each experimental value from mean value. That is, you find the difference between the mean value and each experimental value in a modulus manner. Again, sign is immaterial. 1.247 minus 1.250, 1.247 minus 1.260, 1.247 minus 1.270, etc., 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 all modulus. Then you get a new set of deviation values. Okay? Okay. Now you find mean of these deviations values. You get another mean value which is called the mean deviation value. If this mean deviation is small, your set of experiments have better precision. Your set of experiments have better precision. So that gives you an idea regarding, a mathematical idea regarding precision. Okay. One thing regarding this precision is that here it has nothing to do with the resolution. Another thing is that it has nothing to do with the true value of the measurement. You need not know the true value because it is all dependent upon the experimental values alone. It is independent of the true value of measurement. That you have to bear in mind. The previous kind of experiment, the previous kind of definition for precision, you have to remember for a given instrument, precision is fixed. For a given instrument, it has a certain level of subdivisions in the device, and so precision has a definite range. Precision is fixed, but their accuracy can be improved by improving the measuring the person's focusing. Okay, their accuracy can be increased, but there is no variation of precision with the person who does the experiment. But coming over this concept of precision, here person's focusing also affect the precision of the measurement value, because a person with a low focusing will have greater variation, greater deviation among these his experimental values, isn't it? So here both accuracy and precision will also be governed by the person who makes the measurements. Okay. Now we have a comparison between accuracy and precision. Precision of the second type, that is a set of experiments. Okay, look here. Accuracy, true value need be known. To express accuracy, how far a experiment measurement is accurate, we must know the true value. But for true value need not be known for taking precision. Why? We take the average and not the true value. So, for precision, to express precision, knowledge of true value is non-essential. Second, one experiment can give accuracy. You can calculate error and percentage error even from one experiment. Of course, it is better you carry out more experiment and take average or like that. But it is not a must. But for getting precision, you must have a set of experimental value for precision. Okay. Third, mathematically, accuracy is mathematically expressed as in terms of error, percentage error, etc. Precision is mathematically expressed as mean deviation. Okay. Next, for a careful person, accurate result is also precise. If you perform, or the one who performed the experiments, if he is perfect, he will repeatedly get accurate results. So accuracy is followed by precision. Accuracy is accompanied by precision. But even for an expert, a precise result need not be accurate. Why? See, if the measuring device has some permanent defect, for example, upon measurement, it reports 1.24 meter as 1.25 meter. Due to some construction defect, 1.24 it reports as 1.25. If an expert does the experiment, he reports 1.25 all the time, because From his part, there is no mistake. But actually the value is 1.24. So what does that mean? A precise result need not be accurate. An accurate result is supposed to be precise also. It is the accepted norm. But a precise result need not be accurate always. Okay. Look at this set of values. See, actual time 2.31 minute in a particular experiment. But three observers are getting different sets of time values in a set of experiments. Look, the first person gets 2.45, 2.45, 2.46, 2.45 in the place of 2.3. So all his experimental values are nearly same, so they are precise, but it is much deviated from the original value. So we can say that the result is precise but not accurate. Okay. Coming to the second set of experimental value, it is almost around 2.30 itself, isn't it? So, and there is no much deviation among the values also. So you can say it is both accurate and precise. Coming to the last case, values are not agreeing among themselves. Not agreeing among themselves. Not only that is, they are deviated much from the standard value. Okay. So they are neither accurate nor precise. Hope you understood that idea. Okay. The same idea regarding accuracy precision comparison can be done with this picture also. It is something like a dart throwing or a bullseye shooting. See here, all the target hit points are located far away from the center but remaining together. So we can say that it is precise but not at all accurate. Coming over here, all the darts are at the center or near in the central region. So we can say here it is accurate and precise. Coming over here, it is randomly distributed far away from the center, etc. So we can say it is neither accurate nor precision. Hope you followed that.